SOFI is about to do numbers. It's just a matter of when it's going to happen. Let's talk about it. Hey, what's up, everybody? It's Stocks for Real. So there's a lot of content coming out about SOFI, right? Anthony Noto just spoke today. When that guy talks, makes you want to buy more SOFI because he just feels that much there's that much confidence coming from this man about the company. He's disappointed at the stock price. We're disappointed with the stock price, but ultimately the fundamentals of the company hasn't changed. The trajectory of which it's going hasn't changed, and he's not speaking as if things have slowed down this coming earnings. There was no hiccups in what he said, right? So I'm pretty dang confident, just based on that interview, that SOFI is going to do numbers like it always has done, quarter after quarter, and it's going to continue to show profitability. Now, some say that SOFI isn't profitable. Some say that they are. Well, that's why they have adjusted revenue, right? For various reasons, right? So I'm showing you screenshots right now of, this is the Moomoo app, comparing four companies. You got SOFI, you got AFRM, you got Block, and you got Citibank, okay? So look up the definitions as far as what all this means, but all of these things are good for SOFI. And I'm gonna go through them, and I'm gonna tell you one more thing at the end. So price of sales, SOFI 3, right? AFRM 4, Block 1, Citi at the lowest, right? Little like 1 and some change, right? So price to book value, SOFI 1, right? And right below SOFI is Citibank. So great for SOFI, right? Above that is Block, and above that is AFRM, which is way out of whack, right? So now look at the cash flow. SOFI is cash flow is 1.06 billion, right? AFRM is only 767 million. Of course, Citibank is doing numbers with some billions, right? 12 billion. Okay. Cash flow from operations. SOFI 738 million versus AFRM 381 million, right? And Citibank negative $10 billion. Okay. Cost of operations. That's all the real estate and stuff like that they have. Whatever. Doesn't matter. Look into it. Institutional holdings. This is the reason why SOFI isn't doing numbers, right? One of the reasons. Institutional holdings for SOFI, 40%. AFRM, 82%. Block, 61%. Citibank, 74%. They're not going to short a company that they own majority of the stock in. SOFI is being shorted almost 18%, right? AFRM is doing worse numbers than SOFI, but the stock is almost more than triple the price of SOFI, right? Well, how can that be? AFRM was up to $52 a share or something like that within the 52 weeks. Insane. And right now I think it's sitting around 28. Okay? Just pay attention, right? Net profit. SOFI's net profit is $88 million. AFRM, negative $472 million. Okay? Block, positive 470. Citibank, $3.4 billion. So think about it, okay? There's two reasons SOFI isn't like higher as the stock price. It has nothing to do with its profitability. It has nothing to do with its business model. I think if you ask any bank, which Citibank is always on the call, and they're speaking very highly of SOFI for the most part, and it's in several other institutions like BlackRock and Vanguard and ARK Invest, they're putting their money where their mouth is by investing into the company. JP Morgan's doing the same. However, they're writing a different narrative, right? So I say that to say SOFI is trying to compete. Well, legacy banks are threatened by SOFI. SOFI is not trying to compete with the legacy bank necessarily. Yes, they're trying to take market share, but SOFI is a tech company. They are also a bank. That's what sets them apart and put them in a different category, which makes it hard for analysts to actually project how to price SOFI. But between the short interest, the threat to legacy banks with these neobanks like SOFI, and the institutional ownership, those are the main reasons why SOFI isn't where it's supposed to be. Okay, there's nothing else to it. If institutions held 60% of SOFI, right? I guarantee you, I can't guarantee anything, but I assume that SOFI would be priced higher than a firm. SOFI likely would be $20 to $30 a share if institutions held 60+% of SOFI. The problem is right now they only hold about 46% when you combine that with insiders, right? Which I put a video on that not long ago, so check it out. Okay, so how long does it take for institutions to take over, like become the majority? Well, it's taken a long time, because what happened in the beginning of it all with the SPACs, retail investors were big into SPACs. We were just buying it up. And then you had people like Stock Mo, who actually put me on SOFI way back when, before even IPO'd. And I started to do my own research on the company, and I stuck with it. He sold out for a little bit. I think he's back in now, but he was big on like companies like that, and it was just so much interest with retails. I think we just loaded up on SOFI early on, and we've been riding this wave ever since, right? And a lot of us have held strong, and because of that, I think with the institutions, legacy banks, institutions, whatever, hedge funds, them being late to the party and now trying to hop into SOFI after it hit bottom, but now showing back-to-back quarters of profitability and expected to show another quarter of profitability come July 30th. Now they're trying to load up, but it's hard. It's hard for them to do that. Why? Because we're not selling. So the problem is, nobody knows how long it's going to take for institutions to take over as far as being the majority of SOFI. So what are they going to do? They're going to try their damnedest to suppress this stock for as long as they can. And they can do that for as long as SOFI isn't blowing it out the water. So if SOFI is treading water, or like let's say they're profitable, right? But they're only meeting their expectations, then there's just enough room in there for institutions to, or whatever. I don't want to say institutions, whoever, right? To write the narrative and speak doubt about SOFI with so many elements to their company, so many like businesses within the business. It's easy to kind of cherry pick what you want the headline to be, and that's just enough to warrant doubt and then increase things like shorting the stock. Starts by putting FUD out there, then it's followed by an increase in shorting the stock. So it's just a cycle, and unfortunately it might go for a while again until these rate cuts hit, and SOFI just blows it out the water with their lending and the student loans, and the now they're doing like new home loans instead of just refinancing. They're trying to do that when they actually announce these legacy banks that are signing up on, to Galileo and using their Technisys platform. Like, there's a lot of things that SOFI has going on in the background. And as far as the whole lending thing, you guys can look at all the YouTubers and all the like data investing, and I want to say there's Tevis, and there's so many people that are out there that are talking about SOFI that are getting into the nitty gritty of the numbers and what it all means. But essentially, like, SOFI is a company that has the ability to pivot in any market conditions, and they've showed that they've been able to do so throughout this the pandemic, and then into the recession talks, into the increase in inflation, to now, right? Like, so, but guess what's not happening? What's not changing? the stock price. But guess what's increasing? What's changing? The company. They're growing. They've grown through it all. They found ways to pivot. Their core business model isn't one thing, right? So for a company to be able to do that in any market conditions, that is a company that I would want to invest in. And I know with certainty these other institutions that are shorting the stock want to as well. Why I know that? Because we keep talking about all the money that they're pouring into SOFI. What did I say? $3.01 billion in SOFI invested by institutions. Insane. People don't put that much money into something if they're not if they're not supportive of the mission of the company or a believer in what they're doing. It's just a matter of time before the switch hit. Two things are going to happen. SOFI is going to blow it out of the water, and the shorts can't short no more. It's impossible. The floodgates are open. Or B, the institutions become the majority holders. And the moment that becomes 51-49, there you go. When it's going to happen, I don't know. But anyway, for all you SOFI investors out there, for you OGs, for you new people, hold on strong. I mean, I can't tell you what to buy or hold or sell. However, that's what I'm doing, right? And ultimately, hindsight's 2020. If you were smart, you pulled out a while ago and you put your money into AI or some of these blue chip stocks like Amazon and Nvidia and Apple and Microsoft and Tesla, and you made tons of money, right? But if you're holding SOFI like myself, then you're waiting for your payday, and it could be in the 30th of this month. It could be the 30th 3 years from now. But just know what you're signing up for and understand what the situation is for the company. It has nothing to do with profitability. It has nothing to do. I'm not going to repeat all that stuff, okay? You know what it has to deal with. Until those things change, steady as she goes. All right? This is Stocks for Rel. Take care.